Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to the most dangerous road in America, the $1,000,000 Highway. Have no idea what road this is. I've done a reaction a few months ago of the most dangerous highways or something in the US, but it didn't really go into anything like that. It didn't show any pictures, it just sort of showed it from the Google Maps view and just, yeah, you didn't get to see what it actually looked like. And yeah, this is also a much older video too, but with certain roads, like I swear, like in South America or some parts of Asia, there's some crazy roads where you have to like drive over these, like through these mountain ranges or through these jungles of mountains and all this stuff, and there's no like rails on the side and all this stuff. I don't think it will be to this extreme because the US, I feel like just the road systems in general are a lot better. Well, they are for sure because it is a country that is built for roads, but yeah, I guess we're going to see what this road is specifically like. I don't know what to expect, but it will be fascinating to learn, and yeah, hopefully going to enjoy. Links are in the description to my Patreon if you want to see some more of my reactions that I can't post to YouTube. But let's jump into this and see what this road is about. Getting some music. I hope this is YouTube friendly music. Is that a polar bear? What? Oh, so these are the sort of roads that I'm talking about, but they have got rails here, to be honest. But it is in these sort of scenarios, just higher up, more elevated, and even less space. You see it in like Top Gear, I think. Okay, this looks a bit worse. Is this just the video showing the road?
Thanks for joining us today, and welcome to the $1,000,000 Highway in the Red Mountain Pass. The $1,000,000 Highway is a little tiny spur off of US Highway 50 called US Highway 550. It's this stretch here from Ouray to Silverton, Colorado. A lot of people make it up to Ouray for the sightseeing, the quaint little town we're going to have a look at in a moment, Nordic activities, and hiking. However, that's usually as far as they make it because it's a little bit daunting to start in this semi-arid climate at about 7,706 feet and climb to well over 11,000 feet into an alpine climate. Heck, if Ouray's as far as you get, that's fine. I mean, it's gorgeous. The area is also referred to as the Switzerland of America because of its resemblance to the Swiss and French Alps.
Oh, damn.
The town itself is full of quaint shops, activities, and seasonal events. Ouray, of course, is not your typical fare for my channel. It's sitting with a population.
I love the buildings in this town. This town like just seems like it's in its own world. Look at all the like it's just all so like different colors and looks so old-fashioned. Look at this. What a place. And it's just in the mountains as well. Man, that sounds like a place that I'd want to just visit one time.
Sitting with a population of 1,013 people, give or take. But I'm here to look at the slew of abandoned mines and historical districts that lie across the $1,000,000 Highway. We're going to follow this river all the way down the valley through the $1,000,000 Highway. And through that, we're going to be able to see a lot of mining installations, villages, as well as entire towns that have been abandoned from varying times, as far back as the 1800s or as recent as just the 1980s. In this video, I want to explore something a little different. I want to explore the road itself, the road we took, the $1,000,000 Highway. It goes by many names, the Scenic Byway, and if you're being dramatic, it's referred to as the Highway to Hell. And seeing as this road has been here for some time, it has claimed many lives, and the Animas River is the site of one of the worst ecological disasters in US history. Not to mention, the road itself is extremely historic. While the highway we see...
Wow, look at this. This is insane, man. Is this just natural? Did they build through it to create a tunnel? If that's natural, that is wild. I don't know if it is, but flipping out. Even if it isn't, it still looks cool, but...
Today was built in the 1880s. The original trail that it was built upon was the Trail of the Ancients Byway. In other words, this passageway dates back to the start of recorded history and then some.
Damn.
It provides us insights into the lives and migration habits of the ancestral Pueblans, Navajo, Ute, and Apache people. With this much history, it has a big head start on the total death count and continues to add to this count each year. It has a seasonal hazard for just about every season of the year. In fact, many of these tunnels we've been looking at are here to prevent avalanches. Well, at least prevent them from covering the road. Some were built in the 1880s,
Okay, so
and
they are
others
built.
were retrofitted, such as this modern avalanche chute. This ribbon of asphalt snakes through over 100 named avalanche paths and countless unnamed snow runs. This winter blasted Colorado with its third largest snowpack to date. The highway had 500 torrents down its slopes. It killed 3 people, fully
Jeez.
buried 2, and nearly overtook a snowplow. According to data from the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, the highway saw 54 slides in 2018 and 140 slides in 2017.
I was not expecting the reason for this place being so dangerous was avalanches. That was the last in my mind. I was just thinking just because it's high up, there's going to be accidents and stuff, but there's more to it.
Meaning we've seen a 72% increase in avalanches in the last year. You can see a little bit of the damage they do here. They lay down entire forests, particularly aspen trees. They snap them like they're tooth.
What the fuck? Is it snow avalanches? He might have already said. I might have just not heard it, but that is so. That's just trees just completely destroyed, or is it just the land? The mud gets wet or whatever, and then it all just slides down.
These things come down with quite the force. So
Because there's no snow, so I'm assuming it's that. But maybe in different seasons there is snow.
we have avalanches as a seasonal hazard. But what about the perpetual hazards? Well, how about this one? No guardrails. Well,
Yep.
very, very few guardrails, that is. Frankly, the road itself is a hazard. The first time you drive it, expect sweaty palms. You'll see sheer drops over 2,000 feet along the entire road, hairpins enough to make anyone seasick. Since 1992, 412 lives were taken by this road that we're aware of. Colorado Department of Transportation, CDOT, spends an average of $2 million per year maintaining this 24-mile, 38-kilometer section of highway.
Wow.
In an interview with the Telluride Times, a CDOT representative, Nancy Shanks, gave a few simple tips for surviving the $1 million highway. Shanks said, know the conditions, obey the speed limit, and if you're a truck driver, put on your chains. You'll see posted warnings and examples of the dangers along the entire route, such as this memorial to Reverend Hudson and his 2 daughters, Amelia and Pauline, who washed away in the 1920s. Sad
What?
example here of Edgar A. Vargas, a young man who ran off the road just a few years ago in 2015. And here we see a
Fuck.
monument erected to Robert Miller, Terry Krishpaw, and Eddie Immel, dying in 1970, 78, and 92 respectively. People do like to leave trinkets here, but actually it's not encouraged by CDOT. Being as that was the organization they were serving when they passed, I think it's especially important to respect those wishes. And on that note, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the plow drivers of Colorado. You guys really put your necks on the line for us, and we appreciate you. Thanks.
Look at the views,
As with anywhere,
man.
with glaciers, snowpack, and avalanches, you're going to have waterfalls. And this
This is incredible. This is just on a road. I mean, that's probably a thing as well. People probably just look at the scenery and then they end up losing their. Like, they just sort of forgetting that they're not forgetting that they're driving, but they'll just lose control because maybe they've not been paying attention to driving. Because you just take a look for a brief second at the waterfall or something, and then bang, you're off the cliff. But maybe not. There's probably cases where that sort of thing has happened though.
year, they are aplenty. They're everywhere. And we've got a lot of people up here just to marvel at the waterfalls themselves. It's a simple equation, really. The more snowpack we have, the more numerous the waterfalls become, and the more busy this road gets. This is one of the most popular pull-offs. Well, in fact, it's the only pull-off where you can take a breath of fresh air, get your nerves together, and enjoy this view. Tucked behind this road barrier, you're going to find a monument to Otto Myers, the man who built this road in 1881. It was erected by a grateful people 45 years later in 1926. And when you consider what they had to deal with before Otto got his hands on this road, it was a vast improvement, and they had something to be grateful for. And we're left now with this beautiful vista and view of this 2,000-foot waterfall and this bridge that serves as a monument to Otto's work. Otto was an Estonian immigrant who became locally famous for building the Galloping Railroads and the Rio Grande Southern Railway. Otto began dynamiting for a basic tollway above the city of Ure, and at that time, it was said that Myers was spending $1,000 per foot of construction. When it was all put together, this would equate to $1 million per mile. Shortly after word of Otto's expensive engineering marvel spread, the small tollway became nationally known as the $1 Million Highway. Otto's legacy will stand the test of time, but his road
There's a waterfall on the road.
isn't up to today's standards. In fact, this road would not be built at all today. Those waterfalls I mentioned are a bit of a double-edged sword. In fact, they can quickly become a hazard and overtake the road this time of year.
What?
This small stretch of highway has made its way to several large publications and most dangerous lists. Popular Mechanics ranked it 3 out of 10, and it's the only road in the continental USA ranked by USA Today's list of the world's most dangerous roads. The automotive blog Road Crazed and DangerousRoads.org ranked the million.
Driving on this on the road, driving on the road when it's raining, I got confused. Seems like hell, man. You can barely see. Bro, I know cars are built to be able to keep traction or whatever, but still, man.
$1 million highway as the most dangerous
see.
road worldwide. If you are measuring how dangerous a road is by the number of fatal deaths that happened on it, the $1 million highway is the winner with no contest. This is especially astonishing when you consider the fact that things like the Kabul-Jabalabad highway in Afghanistan and the Naga Parbat Pass in Pakistan were included in most of these publications, considerations, and lists. Perhaps Highway to Hell isn't such a bad name after all. While it's unfortunate we were caught in a storm, and by no means was that planned, we have included the link below to the complete raw footage just so you can get an idea of how.
Look at those views. Is this also a national park? Would they put a road for a national park? Maybe not. There's probably rules around that, but this looks like it could be a national park for sure. I mean, just look at the views, man.
Intense that can be. It's a big trip. You start here in a semi-arid climate and end up here in an alpine tundra.
Oh,
Drivers, you're going to want to focus on the road.
Look at this area. This is so incredible. Just this tiny little town in the mountains. Oh my days, man.
Passengers, this is really something to marvel at. If you have experience driving on the mountains and you're comfortable in these situations, I encourage you check out the $1 Million Highway.
That sounds really like, if I could drive, I definitely probably would. I mean, definitely probably is a bit of a me hesitating a little bit, but that's cool, man. I mean, the views are cool. It's scary at the same time, but that town at the end, imagine living there. Imagine growing up in that little town area. That would be a wild experience. But like, you're so closed off from everything. And is the only way out back through the mountains? Or is there other routes that you can go through as well? But they're just longer. I don't know, but this is a cool little look into the most dangerous road in America. Let me just search most dangerous road in the world. He mentioned some. The North Youngest Road. Where is it? It doesn't say where it is. But you just look at this. Oh, that does not look fun. Top 10 deadliest road. I mean, I should probably save this for a video, to be honest, but yeah, actually, I'll just save it. But yeah, man, this looked beautiful and horrifying at the same time. But hopefully you enjoyed this reaction. And if you've been on this road, please let me know if it's actually as scary or not. I mean, I assume if you've gone through it, you're fine. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things you'd have to be paying attention the full time. Especially if you're driving on the right side, because if you're driving on because he was driving on the right side, but then if you're driving that way, it's the right side as well. If you're driving on the outside, it would definitely be even more scary. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this reaction, and until next time, like, subscribe, peace.